afternoon, everyone. Thank you for the time that has been given to me. My name is TELAUMBANUA. I would like to present my research proposal with title Improving the Student Speaking Skill Through Talking Stick Strategy at the 10th grade of SMK Negeri 2 Gunung Sitoli in 2022-2023. The first of all, the Honorable, our Chair of AESP, English Education Study Program, Mr. Elwin Piarawan Zebua, SPD, and also as my advisor that helped the researcher to conduct this research proposal. The Honorable also Mr. Afwari Tahir Harepa, SPD MU, as the Secretary of English Education Study Program, and also the Honorable Mr. Christoph Martin Afwari TELAUMBANUA, SS MPD, as the examiner of the research. First of all, this research consists of the 3 chapters. Chapter 1 is the introduction, chapter 2 is the literature review, and the chapter 3 is research method. First one is about introduction, in the background of the topic. First of all, they have to understand that in English, there are 4 components as the basic skill that the student have to master in the learning process. First is about the listening, speaking, reading, and also writing. One of the components that is very crucial of the student is the speaking skill. According to Chaney, in 2022, speaking is the process of someone to convey meaning and thought in a verbal symbol in a many contexts. The context, what the meaning is the context of the learning education, the context in the society. One of the in the learning process in the material of the scripted text, where according to Zulaika, the scripted text is the text that have to describe the person, the thing, and also animal with the particular thing. So, based on the syllabus of the SMK Negeri 2 Gunung Sitoli, the basic competence is expected that every student can compose the simple spoken of the scripted text and also can able to convey the meaning of the speaking skill. But in the reality, however, when the researcher conduct the interceptory on the March until June 2022, the researcher found that the student cannot able to pass the MCC and the student cannot able to convey the simple spoken of the English itself. In the observation that they conducted by the researcher found some problems that were found by the student in the classroom. Like the student is hard to convey their ideas in English. The student also self-confidence to convey the English also. The student also have less fluency and also comprehension about the English itself. And also the strategy that used by the teacher is very monotonous and boring for the student also. So, what is the solution of the problem that the student? The solution that conducted by the researcher is to using the strategy. One of the strategy is talking stick strategy. According to Kurniasi and Sani 2021, that the talking stick strategy is one of the cooperative learning strategy where the teacher have used the stick to the student, and every student have to receive the stick. The student must to answer the question of the teacher and also doing the and also doing the instruction of the teacher itself. Now I'm going to continue about the identification of the problem. I have already told you before that the problem of the student is hard to convey the ideas, less self-confidence, and also the strategy they used by the teacher is very monotonous. And also the formulation of the problems of this research is how does the talking stick strategy can improve the student speaking skill in SMK Negeri 2 Gunung Sitoli in 2022 and 2023. And also the objective of this research is to improve the student speaking skill of SMK Negeri of the 10th grade of SMK Negeri 2 Gunung Sitoli in 2022-2023. This next point of this chapter 1 is the significance of the research. The significance of this research is consists of 2, is theoretically and also practically. Theoretically, the significance of this research is as a source of the material of a talking stick strategy, and also as the practically, this talking stick strategy can enforce or can apply by the teacher and also by student in the learning process. The next one about is in chapter 2 or the literature review. In this chapter 2, there are 3 topics that will be explained by the researcher. The first one is about the theoretical framework, the second one is the conceptual framework, and the last one is the hypothesis. The first one about the theoretical framework. The first is about speaking skill. That according to Brown, the speaking skill is the essential skill that helps someone to communicate with others in a many contexts. The components and all the kinds of the speaking skill, like the pronunciation, grammatically, vocabulary, fluency, and also comprehension of the English itself. Now we're going to discuss about talking stick strategy. According to Munjin and Koida, that state that talking stick strategy is a strategy that used in the learning process that have used the stick as the motivation for the student itself. And also the student have received the stick must to answer the question and also doing the instruction of the teacher itself. The procedure of the talking stick strategy is very simple actually, where the teacher have to prepare the stick firstly, and also he give the material for all the students and give time for about 10 minutes for the student to learn about the material. And then the teacher will prepare about musical that have to use in the learning process. And then the teacher have give the student the stick, and also he play the music. And when the music is stopped, the student who get the stick must answer the question of the teacher and also doing the instruction of the teacher itself. And the teacher must conclude the material they learned in the day itself. Next about descriptive text. According to Ramadhani and Nursahami, that descriptive text is a kind of text that have purpose to give information, particularly of the thing, person, animal, or something. The next topic is about the conceptual framework. As you see in this slide, that's the conceptual framework is come from what the researcher will do in this research. It is come from the problem of the student, the talking stick strategy they used as the solution of the researcher, and also the classroom as solution as the method they used by the researcher to solve the student problems in the speaking skill. And also the result of this conceptual framework is the improvement of the speaking skill of the student in SMK Negeri 2 Gunung. The last topic of chapter 2 is the hypothesis. The hypothesis of this research is consists of two. It's hypothesis alternative and hypothesis null. The hypothesis alternative is the talking stick strategy can improve the student speaking skill at the 10th grade of SMK Negeri 2 Gunung in 2022-2023. And also the hypothesis null of this research is the talking stick strategy cannot improve the student speaking skill at the 10th grade of SMK Negeri 2 Gunung in 2022-2023. Now we are going to discuss the last topic of this research, is chapter 3, research method. The first is about the types of the research. Types of the research that the researcher used in this research is the classroom as research. According to Ebut, classroom as research is a structured research that used to improve the educational ability of the student in the learning class, in the group, and according to the ability of the student themselves in the learning classroom. Now, the second one is about the procedure of the research. The procedure of the research that classroom as research is taken from the chemist starter. That there are four components of this procedure of this classroom as research. The first one is about the planning, action, observation, and also the reflection. Next is about setting and schedule of the research, where the location of this research is conducted in SMK Negeri 2 Gunung, that located on Desa Hili House Hiligamo, and also that conduct in the May and until the June in 2023. Next is about the subject of the research, where the subject of this research is the student of the 10th grade of SMK Negeri 2 Gunung, especially in the class of 10 OTKP. The variables of this research is consists of two, is the independent variable and also dependent variable. Independent variable is the variable that will influence the dependent variable, where independent variable in this research is the talking stick strategy, and the dependent variable is the student speaking skill. Next is about the instrument of the research. In this research, the researcher used three instruments of the research, where it's about observation sheet, also field notes, and also the test, where the test will be used by the researcher is the oral test. Next is about the data collection technique. The data collecting technique of this research is the collecting the data from the text and also observation and also field notes. Next is about indicator of this research. The indicator of successful of this research is when 75% of the student is gain score above the MCC, and also totally of the 100% of the student can pass the MCC. The last one is about data analyzing technique. The data analyzing technique consists of two. It's the analyzing the qualitative and also quantitative data. In analyzing the qualitative data, it's about the reduction of the data, explanation of the data, and also the conclusion of the data. While the quantitative data will be analyzed by using the scoring in the chapter 2 that already explained by the researcher in the chapter 2. It's all about my explanation of this research proposal, and may God bless us all.